You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
You don't know about the other side of the pyramid? The fifth side? It's called the floor, you dumbass. I just want to make sure he realizes there is a fifth side to the pyramid.
And once you open your fucking mind of unfettered goddamn fairness.
I know all of them, and I believe none of them. Hello, folks. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Cryptid Conspiracy Cult. Today, we are joined by
Mr. Mikey Black
and
Alex Stiff.
I want to apologize for and foremost that I heard my last episode was a little serious.
It was rather brutal, sir.
It was rather brutal. I got a little too real on the conspiracy end. My bad.
I had to smoke a cigarette after that one.
Yeah, so did Lee Harvey Oswald. But no, we check out the assassinations episode. We paired it up with another history we forgot. We went through the 60s and talked about the conspiracies. That is the Kennedy family, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Just a little conspiracy here and there. You know, it's like salt on your eggs. Just a little bit here and there. It goes a long way.
That one got me.
Yeah. But this one we're going to just laid back a little bit, had a few drinks here and there, or during the show, however you want to listen. Today we're going to be talking about the Cryptids of Alabama on a nice little
talking about it too.
Oh yeah, nice little plan we had on the back burner for a while. Just speaking of all the cryptids state by state, and Alabama is our first one.
Pretty good idea.
Roll Tide, Mikey.
Roll Tide.
Wonder whose idea it was.
Wasn't mine.
Sure as fuck wasn't mine. No. But no, we're going to be talking about a couple of them. We're going to be talking about...
you guys want to commit to a year's worth of content?
Yeah, 50 states worth. Don't forget the districts.
Yeah.
District of Columbia, Guam. I bet you Guam's got some weird ones. It's all sea
Puerto
monsters.
Rico's probably got some fun ones too.
Oh, yeah, they're called American tourists.
Yeah, the white man.
The white man. Yeah, so tell us about some of the ones we'll be covering today.
So we're going to go over the great state of Alabama featuring cryptids such as Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably every goddamn state has at least one Bigfoot story.
Squatch.
Squouch. The Wolfman of Mobile,
Alabama.
My favorite, the Alabama, this one says the White Thang. It's known as the Alabama White Thang, but more commonly also the Alabama White Thang.
Are we going to talk about the Alabama black snake?
Yeah.
Black Snake Moan.
Yeah, and also there's another one on the back end.
Two more. Let me scroll through this very credible article on AlabamaBackroads.com. The Huggin' Molly and the Downy Boger.
Yes, Huggin' Molly is very popular in Alabama and also Mississippi. It's a very sad story cryptid who has a very nice little lure attached to it. But yeah, Alabama, let's talk about it. This is a Gulf state, so this joins Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida. Florida's cryptids are real, I will say that. When we get to the F's, we'll be talking about real motherfucking things. But Alabama, it's a swamp state. Let's just say it. It's a fucking swamp state.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you're brave enough to say it.
I am, god damn it. But yeah, let's talk about the first one, the Bigfoot. Their version of Bigfoot, actually. So Bigfoot kind of changes over time. When you got the Northeast Bigfoot, your Sasquatch. You have the Texas Bigfoot, which is a larger ape-like animal. You have your Midwest and Western Bigfoots, which are actually lured into the Paiute tribes, the Blackfoot, up in near North and South Dakota. You have a lot of older stories of an ape-like man creature in those lures. And then you have the Canadian Bigfoot in the Eastern Canadian, near Toronto, Montreal, and stuff like that, past Saskatoon and all that. But each one is just a little variation on the other, especially when they talk about size. So once you get into like the Canadian wilderness, they talk about a 9-foot, 10-foot tall Bigfoot, you know, a large creature that's lumbering, can take down trees with a single swipe.
Oh, damn.
Most likely, they're talking about a Kodiak bear, which roughly on standing height is 9 feet tall. That's why I think the size thing is kind of funny, because as further south you go, the bears get smaller in size. So in northern Canada, you have the Kodiak and like the moose, which are like the last megafauna. And then as you go down, you start getting into brown bears or the California wild brown bear. And you have the Gulf black bears, which we've all seen just strolling along on the news sometimes. Every so often, there's like 2 or 3 stories a year. Like in the Monroe Mall, there's a fucking black bear just chilling, eating a cheeseburger some asshole threw out of a window.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee, some families having a cookout on their fucking patio.
And there's like some cubs being like, give us up.
Hey, come on.
And then there's one giant mama bear just chilling in a kiddie pool. It's always a pool. And they just fuck shit up. But I think that's where the whole thing comes from is bears. What they're seeing is a bear that's standing on its hind legs because it's probably injured its paw. And through evolution, they've worked it out to stand on their hind legs and move a little ways on bipedal progress. But this is what I don't think is real because of how dense the population is in the deep south. There are large plantations still exist. They're like the old land that's not developed, but it is swampland.
A truck driver would disagree with you from Alabama. He saw one crossing the road directly in front of him. And when he stopped to investigate, he found large footprints. You know
why I know this isn't real? Because he got out of his truck to investigate.
Yeah.
If let's say I'm on some bennies and I'm heading down the fucking road, I got some black beauties, a handful of weed in my pocket, and I'm driving a fucking
just a handful.
All
right, let's be real. It's a truck driver. It's meth.
Yeah, it's meth.
It's meth.
Blasted fucking Elton John, and then all of a sudden he sees Bigfoot. My ass. He saw a bear. Saw a track that was smudged.
His wife just caught him cheating on him.
Yeah.
So he's listening to Rocket Man on repeat.
Yeah, just Rocket Man!
Burning out the streets for holy shit! I'll be goddamn.
Honey,
that's a Bigfoot.
Just gets on the phone. Doesn't call 911. Doesn't call any emergency service. Just call Brenda, you won't believe what I saw. I told you not to call me, you son of a bitch. What'd you call your whore? Brent, and she just Brenda, God damn it! He gets out and investigates. He's carried a fucking $3 pistol that he bought from some motherfucker in a parking lot that can't shoot for shit.
It's a 22.
It's a 22 automatic that he bought for a handful of fucking hydros at $25. It's not like that's a personal story at all. That's a myth story. That's not true. But no, let me ask y'all something. You guys, you're on the road. Listen, you're band. You're band on the road. You're gunning it, trying to get from part to part, and you got to really head off. And let's say you might burn one down before you headed out, and you see Bigfoot. Are you going to get the fuck out the car? Are you literally going to?
Probably not. No.
I might. You might. I'd probably if I saw Bigfoot, dude, you kind of have to. I feel like you're obligated.
you don't. You don't have to.
You have to.
You don't.
I would strongly disagree if I saw a large creature that I could not identify.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're in a metal, basically, you are in a shield.
Yeah, it's not
Why are you going to get out of your shield?
Because roll tide, man. Roll tide, roll.
More like rolling your fucking head across the side of the road because you wanted to get out and see Bigfoot in person.
I feel like Bigfoot's more afraid of you than you are of it.
Fuck that propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, it's not like
that's what fucking the Bigfoot deniers want you to believe. That way you'll fucking go in there and get killed by them.
Yeah, so this was
layers on layers on layers on conspiracy.
Here's the problem I have with it. So like the guy describes it a man-like creature around 7 foot tall, right? Crosses it. And then there's like an estimation of weight, which is total bullshit. 450 pounds. I am 6
That's not
foot,
that big.
I'm 6'2". I weigh 285. You're talking about a shit 150 plus pounds extra for an extra foot. That is fucking ridiculous.
Well, Mikey, how much more does muscle weigh? Because he could be super muscular.
He could be fucking jacked.
Or fat.
This is how you know my computer is listening to us. As soon as I typed in gorilla, it says, do you want to know the weight? 300 to 430 pounds for a silverback gorilla. And they're only 4 foot to 6 feet tall.
And they're all muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sasquatch is fucking jacked.
Yeah, probably. He probably does P90X or something.
Yeah.
He's probably into the older styles of workout.
He's in fucking prison shape, dude.
Yeah, just doing sit-ups and
just
shit.
got out of Stockton Yard.
Yeah. I was in Pelican Bay with fucking Loch Ness, man. We joined a gang and everything. And he throws up some fucking, his big ass hand just throws up some big ass fucking gang. It's just an entire alphabet because his hands are so fucking big.
On the back of his neck is tattooed Tree Fitty.
Yeah, but it's grown over. It's grown over.
That one got Mikey.
I was hanging out the Loch Ness Monster. You want to say? Trey 50. He want to hold somebody.
Yo, Silverback's got that fucking dick. How big do you think his dick was? You think Sasquatch is packing?
Well, so actually, I've actually heard something about this. So like,
of course you have.
So they said because it's where we separate from the great apes.
Yeah.
Is it dick size?
Well, part of it was the mammal size, comparative height and weight to dick size when it comes to mammals. It's not that big.
Oh, the erect gorilla. I'm just gonna go off a silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
The erect gorilla penis is only 3 to 6 centimeters long.
That's about 1.5 inches.
Holy Christ! Dang shit.
Tell that to the gorilla. Hey, pink skin, what's that? What you packing, motherfucker? And you just show it. He just like. Look, he's just all disappointed.
Well, see, I'd look like that too if I was rocking a 6 centimeter dick.
God Almighty.
Nah, man, he's
Why
one
do
of
you
those.
think they're so mad and they act like that all the time?
That's why he's in the gym all the time. Just fucking.
This is literally the Andrew Tate of the wildlife world.
I think my favorite comment Joe Rogan said is like, "Can you imagine if they worked out?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" It's like if they worked out.
That's the most Joe Rogan comment ever, dude. Can you imagine if
Hey, Jamie, pull that chip up real quick. Can you imagine that motherfucker did some like
Kettlebell swings.
yeah, all that shit. Hang out with Chef Rush and got this diet right.
Tell me why I type in male silverback gorilla and I get a picture of Mark Henry, a famous powerlifter.
You know exactly why you got that
Happens to be
photo.
a black guy.
You know exactly. Somebody posted that and put Gorilla Man in some article.
It's so fucked.
I bet if you looked at gorillas long enough, I bet someone would post a picture of Patrick Ewing too.
Oh, the internet.
What a racist place.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on the Alabama Sasquatch?
So I don't think in Alabama.
If Sasquatch were to exist, he would be in Alabama.
No, I don't think
What a
so.
shithole place to be, a Bigfoot.
It's not like he's going to go there watch Alabama play Auburn or anything. You know, just I want to go see him and Shane Gillis just sitting in the fucking special needs section. Oh, but the next one, the Wolf Woman of Mobile.
I don't know anything about Wolf Woman.
All right, I don't know much either, but the way it's described is a dog woman. It's a dog person.
Yeah,
That's all it
They
is.
said it's like the top part woman, bottom part wolf.
Hell yeah,
Whatever
baby.
that means.
But it's only the face. It's not the body. Like it's not the upper body.
face.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
I guess there's
It's a woman that has the body of a dog. That's all it is.
Yeah.
This is one of those I drank the moonshine kind of situation. I probably fucking shouldn't have. I just saw a dog that had a wig on.
Taking doggy style to a new level. Yeah.
It's fucking. Even the number of half wolf, half woman is fucking bullshit. It's the face of a woman. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, it was discovered or cited rather in 1970, so it's somewhat recent. Described as this mystical creature as somewhat pretty and very hairy, with the top half being woman-like in nature and the bottom half a real wolf.
Hang on, that second paragraph there. First sighting was at a Grateful Dead concert. Interesting. Okay, well, that's making a lot more sense.
50 calls in 1 week with the same sighting. So, I mean, use science to debunk that one.
I can't right now. A bunch of hippies showed up to watch the Grateful Dead play, and somebody put a wig on a dog and be like, "Hey Jerry, check this out." And then they let it loose because it was a random fucking dog.
Wouldn't have been fantastic if it did say that the first sighting was at a Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And it's like, and that's the thing about some of these sightings. Once one comes out, there's going to be a plethora of other ones because eyewitness testimony is a goddamn joke. Okay.
Why is it a goddamn joke, Chris?
Because no one knows what the fuck they're looking at half the time. Jesus. Like yeah, no, eyewitness testimony is almost unreliable half the time. Or to quote Anchorman, it works 10%, 100%, 100%, 10% of the time. Yeah. No, eyewitness testimony is a fucking joke, dude. And because that's why.
Sounds like you've been popped by eyewitness testimony before, and you're like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah. She didn't see shit. I know why, because she was in her bed when that happened.
Weren't you?
Same scenario, you're driving, walking along, you see a half wolf, half woman hybrid cross your path. You investigate?
Yeah, because it's a dog with a wig. How cool is that? That's just like, how often do you see dogs with wigs?
Or it's that fucked up, that Full Metal Alchemist episode.
Oh, god damn. Just the saddest, like, top 10 sad things on the internet. I got a dog and a daughter. What do? Dog daughter.
Why not both?
Why not both? Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's not like Full Metal Alchemist is like just dark as fuck when it comes to that kind of shit. Yeah.
Now I know where they got the plot idea for Detective Pikachu.
Yep. Yeah. It's just fucking awful, dude.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
Is there a half wolf woman in there?
No, the dad turns into Pikachu.
Oh,
his consciousness goes inside the Pikachu and talks.
Because Mewtwo's like, yo, that dude died. So, like, I know he misses his son and all. So, like, I'm going to put his consciousness in your body.
At no
bring
point.
me that son. And for some reason, that will be enough for me to bring your human body back to life. And that fucking Pokemon was like, Pika fuck.
Yeah, nobody really
starring Deadpool.
Yeah, no one delves into the ethical dilemma of Mewtwo's decision making. It's just like, I think that's a bad idea. Shut the fuck up! It makes you disappear. Turns you into a fucking Mr. Mime or some shit.
God damn it!
Yeah, but Alabama White Thang is another. It's a skinwalker. This is pretty much the idea description of a skinwalker.
I love how it actually genuinely is named the Alabama White Thang. THANG.
Thang.
Like
put that thing
pudding.
Got that thing on.
Yeah, it's a pudding, I in apostrophe.
That thing where it don't belong.
Yeah. Pudding, banana pudding is what you get at a fucking hospital. But nah, this one is another skinwalker type. Do you guys know anything about skinwalkers?
Only what Joe Rogan's told me about.
Yeah, okay. So skinwalkers and wendigos are pretty much descriptively the same thing. These are things that can change, morph into things that can haunt you.
Ditto. Right.
Yeah, a ditto. But not beady-eyed.
This one's 8 feet tall.
Yes.
So.
The wendigo is actually described as about 8 or 9 feet tall as well. But
move quickly, and the scream sounded like an eerie woman's scream.
that's the person it's murdering. that's what you're hearing is someone getting ate by a giant skinwalker. But no, skinwalkers, just like the Alabama White Thing. That's the last time I'm saying that.
I want to keep saying it.
It's so fucking dumb because with the wendigo or a skinwalker, it's kind of goes into the ghost stories or the tall tales of Appalachia. So there are certain things you're not supposed to do in the Appalachian Mountains. One is don't yell your name at night. Don't be like, Alex. Like, I can't holler for you. I can't holler if I lose you in the woods. I can't be like, I can't holler for you because that's a sign that I'm lost or someone I know is lost in the woods. Ooh. Another part of the Appalachian stories, which will be a whole episode anyway, well, you don't whistle because it draws attention to you. If you see something at night, you do not acknowledge it. These are like
that sounds like the rules of Plaza Midwood.
Yeah.
No yelling people's names, no whistling, don't acknowledge something that you notice.
Yeah, you walk out of Snug Harbor at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
you just see
insane fucking rules, dude.
You just see one crackhead just like over the body of a fentanyl addict, like rummaging through his pockets,
and you just don't you don't acknowledge it.
Keep walking. This is opposite of the Patriot
First edition Charizard. Sick.
This ain't real. Who throws it? This ain't real. This is
all of a sudden a caption, summer of 2021 with Pokemon Go.
Yeah. But not like with the rules of the Appalachian Mountains, which do kind of go into like some of the old South kind of ghost stories when it comes to cryptids, at least. They kind of play in tandem to each other because there are a lot of old forests in the deep South and the northern part of Alabama and Mississippi, going into the like deep swamps of Biloxi, into like old New Orleans and stuff like that overfill and overflood, and then people disappear. Because back in the day, back in like the colonial times, like the 1700s, of like Andrew Jackson and stuff like that, you would have these ebbs and flow of tide come in. And so towns like New Orleans and Biloxi would just flood and people would just disappear. Most likely they weren't paying attention where they would, and would get sucked into bogs that would form very quickly. Or something we grew up watching as kids, quicksand.
I thought quicksand was going to be a lot more of a problem than it was.
But in the deep South, it's a fucking problem. But it's also protected land now, so you're not going to have a bunch of campers get sucked into quicksand.
Deep South. This is my favorite sentence from the whole description of the Alabama White Thing. In Huntsville, Alabama, this term is used to describe a humanoid figure that is spotted hiding in caves or drainage ditches. So where'd you see this thing? Well, it was in a cave. No, it was a drainage ditch.
Let me tell you
Same thing.
Let me tell you something.
What are we
weird.
calling it? The Alabama white thing.
Have you guys? All right, so let me tell you something about Huntsville, Alabama.
I'm gonna send a letter to the governor.
There's two things in Huntsville, Alabama. This thing, and the NASA space program is in Huntsville, Alabama. They work in tandem to test student-made rockets for people who are getting physics degrees. A guy I lived with in Charlotte went to Huntsville, Alabama to launch a rocket for a community college. And that's a big area for scientific research when it comes to rocketry. To have that kind of dynamism of rocket fucking engineers there for probably like 2 months out of the year, and these fucking hicks, like, it's hilarious.
So it's safe to say that some rocket scientist experiment gone wrong could have resulted in the creation of the Alabama white thing.
Keep going. I'm listening.
I mean, you're working with...
How does a student-made bottle rocket create the 8-foot-tall Alabama... Alex, please, you raised your hand.
Because that bottle rocket wound up being a little bit too strong, and it actually sent the correct signal to alien life forms, and that's actually what the Alabama white thing is that was one of the successful ways of reaching other life forms.
Right. He was sitting at a bar in Jupiter. It's like, so let me tell you about this time I saw a human. Beep, 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 beep. I gotta take this. I'll be right back. And then he warps to Earth.
Alabama white thing.
Alabama white thing.
I feel like I'm on the Joe Rogan podcast
Pull that shit up, Jamie.
with Eddie Bravo.
Somebody call me. That's a sick bottle rocket right there. I swear to God. Holy shit, is that a 9-foot tall humanoid white kangaroo, half bear, half looking motherfucker? Nope. And then he just... Pew, 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 pew.
We were 3 drinks away from Mikey saying the word globalists, and I'm just being like, that's a euphemism for
It's
Jews.
the globalist. It's the Zionist globalist lizard people.
Whoa, Zionists. Really? You really just say the Jew word. Just say it. Say it. I know that's what you want to say. But another part of this is, all right, so you have this skinwalker type character,
Right.
but they are describing like I said, it's spotted, it's humanoid, it's very large.
It's got no eyes and no ears.
Yes. So if you think about like in horror, when you see something with that's literally, all right, so that's Hugging Molly.
Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Abbeville. But like, he just saw a picture of another cryptid of basically a sad, lonely woman trying to chase a child down.
Just trying to give him a hug, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hugging Molly might have a little something wrong.
I think Hugging Molly is also a euphemism. Yeah, she pets too hard. Yeah.
Do not let Hugging Molly touch the cat.
Yeah. She pets too hard like Liddy from fucking Mice of Men. And it dies.
How old is the child?
Yeah. That's not how Hugging Molly talks. Oh, child.
How am I supposed to know? I'm retarded. I'm sorry. We can cut that part out.
No, leave it in. Leave it in. Hey guys, if you want to hear more comedic advice and other elements of this, check out this fucking guy with Mikey Black and Dante Carter. Dante unfortunately couldn't join us. He had to play some t-ball today like a big kid. So once his stepdad lets him go, he'll join us again on another episode. Don't worry, the comedy stylings of Dante will be back soon. But back to our next cryptid. Let's just go ahead and jump into it because Mikey just went to it. Is Hugging Molly.
That really sounds like a street drug because we've already got Molly.
Oh,
so like, yo, man, you got that Hugging Molly?
It's a Hugging
and
Molly.
what are you doing when you're on Molly except holding hands and hugging?
Hugging Molly sounds like the better drug where there's no side effects.
Yeah.
Like you're getting what you want out of it, but there's no like side effects where you got to chug water and not die. Like ecstasy.
Legend of this mysterious abnormality. That's a big word I can't say.
Abnormality.
Began decades ago.
Jesus.
Decades ago?
Decades ago.
I think you said
Decades
abnormality a little better than decades.
Decades, tomato.
No, there's correct and incorrect. Fuck you.
And the children that witnessed this, quote, thing, it was downright frightening. What you know about the Hugging Molly?
So Hugging Molly has a very sad lore of a kind of like a woman in white story. You ever heard those guys? You ever heard those ghost stories? Like a woman in white is always a woman whose kids have been like mainly murdered. She kills herself out of just pure depression.
Desperation, yeah.
Yeah. Or her husband's killed her, or she, for some reason, just killed herself.
God.
Hugging Molly is a variation of that story, but she grabs children.
She doesn't even kill them.
No, she just hugs them.
She just hugs them very tightly and then screams into their ears.
Yeah. That's Hugging Molly.
That's every aunt in Alabama.
Yeah. I've wanted to do that to so many kids because it's like you can't punch a kid.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh, you can punch a kid.
Well, you can. You're just not supposed to. So it's like just hug them really tight. Just start screaming in their ear. So this I'm loving you.
This actually, fun fact, is part of the creation of a movie we all like is Nightmare on Elm Street. They took a variation.
Yeah, she wore the hat.
So, hugging Molly only attacks kids during nightmares and nighttime. So, what kids sometimes describe as during a nightmare, they wake up and see her because she's infected your mind to cause a nightmare. But the guys that made Nightmare on Elm Street kind of took that a little bit next level and mixed it with some other stories of like a child killer or a murderer and created
Dan Snyder-like.
Yeah. Let me touch your feet.
Bare nose boy.
Calm down.
Let me just ruin this girl's life real quick. But
Amanda. Ah! Sorry. Continue.
Don't worry, honey. We can take care of that. Pregnancy ain't real for 13-year-olds. But yeah, check out our episode on the quiet ones. That comes out eventually. Or never.
I was gonna say this fucking guy thing just covered it, didn't it?
Yeah,
didn't y'all?
I want to bring this up.
Kinda.
This fucking guy is dealing a little too close to the Cryptid Conspiracy Cult content. I'm getting real fucking tired of hearing that shit.
Well, go ahead, say some shit.
Go ahead and say some shit. First of all, let me answer some questions for everybody who listens to this fucking guy. Yes, I have read Lord of the fucking Rings because I'm a goddamn nerd.
I said you did.
I did. Just blatant assumptions across the board.
I will say this is a funny chapter 2 of this rant because I think on the Couch Potatoes he said something like, "Oh yeah, and the folks on this fucking guy, just assume I know everything like Lord of the fucking Rings," and now he's just like, "Okay, yes, I do know it, but like they still just assumed."
Yeah, and Tom Bombadil is a very important figure in the goddamn books. So maybe you should read the goddamn books if you're gonna talk shit.
Maybe if they weren't lost and hungry for 40 fucking pages, I could fucking read it.
Lost and hungry. You're about right. Yeah, you're about right. It's kind of like this the preamble to the action part of the book in Act 1 and 2. Right. Maybe it's harder for younger people like you to read books and such. Let me get something more your pace, like Charlotte's Web or something like that. But when the pig just talks immediately.
No, he has to read his book backward with black and white drawings in it.
Yep.
That's
like it's the fucking Quran.
Close. Quran, manga, same thing.
Yeah. It's
all Islamic propaganda at the end of the day.
Got him. I can't wait till we have just like the old, because I don't, because I keep all the ones we don't edit. I keep all the episodes we don't edit on a hard drive, so I'm just relating.
No, this isn't edited at all. This is what people are hearing right now.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for like our Patreon to get kicked back up. I'm like, put all this shit back in. Put all this shit back in there.
I will say the Hug and Molly, like, there's no like accounts of anyone seeing it. It seems to be.
It's children.
It's really just that folklore, like urban legend kind of.
So there are accounts of people seeing it. It's children though, and so when you talk about cryptids and like eyewitness accounts, it's always people over the age of 16. A good is the Flatwoods Monster, West Virginia, which they go to like a lover's lane type of thing, and it was young kids who were on a date, like in a drive-through kind of thing, and saw it and panicked. As opposed to like Hug and Molly, which is an apparition that shows up, the Flatwoods Monster, they actually had a posse go out and burn that motherfucker out the woods, and they never found it. Most likely what happened was a meteorite hit the ground and caused a small fire. And because of whatever the fuck was in the woods and the way it burned or whatever the material was that was burning from the meteorite, gave off some weird colors they weren't used to seeing, like green fire or some blue fire, something that burns really hot or burns very chemically, which, something you learn in science class when you burn certain kind of fuels or metals or something, you'll see like different colors of fire. This one was a purple fire, so most likely it was a chemical fire that broke out from the meteorite. But that's the Flatwoods Monster. We'll come back to that one much later. But yeah, what's our next one?
The next one is gonna be a quick bathroom break, brought to you by this fucking guy, Mikey. And we're live.
All right, Mikey. So what's the next one we're going down?
Last one is the Downy Booger / the Downy Boger of Alabama backwoods.
Yep.
Back roads.
The back roads, not the backwoods.
Not the backwoods. The back roads through the backwoods.
First reported in Winston County, Alabama, by cousins John and Joe Downey when they were returning home from a late night dance. Reports said that they were riding horses. That's a lie. When they suddenly saw a very strange looking creature that leaped out in front of them. Gotcha, bitch. Where am I at? Fuck.
It's like a human as well as an animal. Whatever the fuck that means. That's what, Bigfoot all over again.
So this kind of goes back to what we had talked about in our earlier episodes when we were talking about cryptids in general, is like they see something they don't quite understand and they kind of mesh it with something they do understand. It's kind of the mind kind of like trying to find a pattern. So if you see a large creature in the woods...
Of course, they were transporting a haul of moonshine in a horse-drawn wagon.
Hell yeah, brothers!
You can hear the doctor and the pepper on that one. That's my fucking drink. That's my Dr. Drake, you son of a bitch. Is that why they drink Dr. Peppers? Because it's a educated one?
I'm fancy like that.
Oh, yeah. For those who don't know, he just turned the lights on and now it's red in here. Like it's a goddamn photo booth room.
I didn't know we were in the red light district.
Yeah, it's sexy.
That's how it was. That's why I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. This podcast is going to take a weird fucking turn here quickly.
Y'all know what the fuck I'm about.
This is about to turn into a history we forgot.
Yeah. Why do you think we call it this fucking guy?
Yeah. These two guys fucking gay. Is that why you guys all the jokes? That's why the jokes are like that?
That's why we're so funny.
Yeah. Just two gay guys on TikTok. But no, so the downy boger is just another replacement of something people don't really understand what they're seeing. This also could be described as the white thing. Yeah. As I said it before, this is
or the Alabama black snake.
Oh, the Alabama black snake. Yeah. What goes through your mind, Alex, is what's your business. Okay. If that's something you want to think about all the day and while you're drinking your pussy drink, that's fine.
I don't like snakes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so these guys shot it. He said he fired twice at it. It began to scream and limp away on 3 feet.
Yeah. So the third leg is that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that thing. That's why they were scared. That's why they were really scared. This motherfucker pops out. Hey, boys, how you doing? Well, you can hear the wind come off of it. Oh, fuck no.
Starts flapping in the wind.
But yeah, so like when it comes to these like cryptids, no matter what state you're in, whether it be Vermont, Oregon, Wyoming, North Carolina, even, it's always a mesh of like two prominent things, and then it's just like, let me just add some more fluff to it. A good version of this is, we had talked about it before with Dante, was the Lake Norman monster here in our state.
Normie.
Yeah, Normie, which is described as a giant like serpent almost that lives in the lake, which most likely they saw is a giant salamander or bed salamanders that get fucking massive. And if you were to see one up close, it would scare the shit out of you, because when I'm talking about, you've seen a salamander, it's probably 5 inches long. They get large because, like goldfish, if you put them in a bigger area, they get bigger. So another thing about the Lake Norman monster is it's associated with a dam, Lookout Dam, where people that
look out,
yeah,
damn.
When people go down there to work on the dam, they refuse to go back down there because what they're seeing is creatures that just stay at the bed of the water and eat, like little
a giant fucking catfish.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a catfish, that's fine. But if you've ever seen a ground breeding catfish that just stays at the bottom, they're pale fucking white, they're blue veined, and they look weird as shit. They look like they've been affected by radiation, and that was the big part of Duke Energy was, they're putting radiation in the water, making the fucking monster creatures, which is a fucking bullshit lie.
Kill me.
Yeah, radiation affects animals and gives them cancer and they die, just like us. It doesn't give them fucking superpowers like the Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four. Okay.
You telling me Normie isn't real?
Normie is probably a giant fucking snake.
Okay, probably an alligator gar or something.
Oh yeah. What's his name? What was the name of the guy? The guy that hunts those creatures, like monster guy.
Oh, Jeremy Wade. I'm Jeremy Wade.
That's a tough motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, dude,
just going to third world countries and destroying their water gods. Oh, is this the thing you pray to? And just rips its fucking jaw off and adds it to his necklace of power like Thanos.
Except for the fucking, that one fish gave him a heart.
Stabbed him in the fucking chest.
Yeah. That was Steve Irwin.
Oh yeah, no, that was Man Ray.
Yeah.
That was a ray.
It was the Arapaima, those big ass fish with the hard skulls.
Yeah.
And they just whip them up at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Got him right in the chest and gave him a heart murmur for the rest of his life.
Got him. That fish went back there and like dabbed like a motherfucker. He's like, I got that motherfucker.
Jeremy Wade, I've got a heart murmur. Oh, what's it say? Put your head up to his chest. You dumb fuck.
But like, if you ever seen a gar in real life, you ever seen one up close? No, they're fucking terrifying. They're
and big.
Yeah,
they get damn big.
Imagine a fish with very sharp. Pull up a gar real quick so you can see.
Pull that up.
Yeah, pull that up, Mikey. But no, it's a giant fish with sharp ass teeth. As opposed to like, most fish have like very flat teeth because they eat plants and like small bugs. But yeah, some of these like alligator gar are just these freak fucking nature animals that don't exist other than North and South America. Sometimes you'll get them in India.
And they're an invasive species too.
Yeah, so they got to go.
Apex predator.
They gots to go.
Yes.
Gots to go.
Good eating too. You ever have alligator gar?
No, I've had alligator.
Yeah, she is.
So good. Yeah.
That is good eating right there.
Caught this gar with my bare hands.
But speaking of like our southern states and stuff like that,
Where's your little baby go? Where's your little baby go?
so a lot of the natural animals that live down here are getting replaced and killed by people who let boas loose in the south. So like, unless it's more of an apex predator that lives down here, they're not surviving. So they've noticed a severe decline in certain species in the Gulf, in like the wetlands of Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida because of fucking dumbasses who are buying snakes and turning them loose, like giant boa constrictors and stuff like that. Even the alligator population in certain areas have actually either migrated or have just been decimated by giant fucking snakes.
Oh, we're getting so many here in North Carolina, alligators.
Yeah, because they're migrating north.
Yeah.
Because there's a boa constrictor. It's a wetland animal who can't survive. Country boy can't survive. Not against the boa. I'm just saying, country boy's getting ate. But no, it's causing a migration issue, and this is why you don't put invasive species into other areas. This happened in Australia with rabbits, with the kind of just overpopulated area, and you have these large
cats.
Yeah, you have these large Australian hares. That happens in Texas too, where you have these giant like big get-togethers of just killing a shit ton of rabbits in an area.
And pigs.
Yeah, pigs are more here though. Pigs, we have a problem down here because we have a lot of we have a lot of pig farms in North Carolina because pork is a big export. But we also have like tubers and like kind of like sweet potatoes and stuff is big here. Right. So when a hurricane comes, so when you have like hurricanes coming to North Carolina and South Carolina, those pig farms just open right the fuck up and they escape, right? And then they go into the wilderness, and then those pigs adapt naturally because
they turn feral quick.
Yes,
too. It's like 30 days, and
they
start growing tusks.
Yeah. So like then it becomes a hunting season kind of situation where the government's paying you money to kill the goddamn things. But like that's the nature of it. Think about this: how many years of evolution did it take for alligator gar to adapt to where it's living now? Not much, and it take long. So when you get those kind of creatures, technically it's a dinosaur. It's a remnant of the dinosaur, like an alligator or a crocodile.
Crocagator.
Is this a Pokemon?
Yeah.
And they get pretty long. If we're talking about, we've talked about cryptids, but this is a cryptid.
Right.
This is a real monster. This is something that shouldn't fucking exist.
You're a monster.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Ate all the goddamn chips. But when you see this kind of stuff out in the open, more rural people will see it, but us here who don't experience wildlife like they do is fucking insane.
I can't tell if this guy is black or just covered in dirt.
It's black. It's a black man.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Wow, Mikey.
I'm sorry.
You can take that out of the show. You can edit that part out. Mikey can't tell a black man's a black man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Seeing above color or just being colorblind, I can't tell. Or just being dumb as shit.
Probably that one.
But when we talk about cryptids, these are fantastical creatures that we describe over time. But there are actual like monsters, technically, things to be scared of. So like if you're a kid,
river monsters, if you will.
Yeah. So let's think about that. It's probably like the 1920s. There's a bunch of kids fucking around on the river, throwing rocks and shit, and one goes into the river and comes across something like that, and he's terrified. What is he gonna say? I saw a monster in the river. and then it starts going off. And then let's say you go back even further, let's say the 1600s where people are, flying or hauling ships over here. One guy goes overboard during a fishing expedition and sees a fucking octopus or a squid. Can you imagine what he fucking how to describe that? He describes a monstrous creature that could have took the boat down.
Imagine how Dante would describe it with no understanding of what an octopus is.
This thing with dick feet. Octopus suck and fuck at the same time.
Octopus aren't from this world, dude. They're too clever, too smart.
Weird. So there's an ethical dilemma on whether or not we should be killing octopi and squids because they are sentient, because they're problem solvers. And I will say it's okay to eat them. It's fine.
It's not very good anyways.
Yeah.
Shut your whore mouth.
Yeah. It's okay.
I love calamari.
Like fried calamari, so anything fried is fine.
Well, and then you get
says the cannibal in the room.
Yeah, but you can also enjoy grilled octopus. You just spread that with a little bit of teriyaki sweet and sour sauce. Throw that on some coals for a little bit. No. Get a nice toasted up. Oh yeah.
Pre-orders for the Cryptid Cookbook.
Slice that up. Throw it in some sushi.
How would you eat hugging Molly?
God, man, I'd let her hug me. Whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
She gets real close.
Shiv straight to the neck. Stockton Yard, motherfucker. Grove Street, bitch.
Grove Street goes full fucking St. Andreas. Grove Street, motherfucker. But all right, so I want to kind of end this episode. These are short episodes because we are going state by state, and because these are not as well known as opposed to the Bigfoot, which we already did an episode on. I'll check that out. It was on the Couch Potatoes list of episodes. But these are just the most random fucking sightings people have had that have been documented. And there's so many more that haven't. But there are real monsters out there. Their alligator gar, for instance, is a real monster. There are, you ever seen the shoebill bird? It's giant as fuck. It stands 6 feet or maybe 5 feet tall.
Sounds like a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, so you talk about, if you describe that's a fucking monster. So there are real monsters out there, guys. It's just, they're not cryptids, okay? These are real zoological creatures. And we'll be going all of them for all of the states, a couple countries too. Yeah, so just...
That literally looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
No shit.
It's horrific.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah. Why it exists, I do not know. It has no real ecological factor that needs to exist, like a mosquito. It doesn't need to exist. But before we end the episode, there is a little conspiracy news out there. I think we could add that to the show nowadays. Conspiracies are everywhere nowadays, thanks to TikTok, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram.
Twitter, or X.
Yeah, Twitter.
God.
The real Twitter. Or as DMX said, X gonna give it to you. That should be their fucking motto. I don't know why it's not. It's just X gonna give it to you. From the warrior poet DMX. Rest in peace.
The estate probably wouldn't allow it. They probably have a trademark on the saying.
The estate. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no shit.
I'll throw you a couple bucks to the estate. But no, with recently there was a bridge collapse caused by a container ship. So let's talk about that for a minute.
I heard it was the Taliban.
Okay.
I actually did hear that.
Oh,
do I believe it? No.
Where did you hear it?
One of my clients at work.
Oh, okay.
Very credible source.
This client at work wouldn't have to be Alex Jones, is it?
No. I wish. Shit, that'd be fun. So I got this spot in my back also. Did you hear about this bridge?
I might be kind of retarded.
Let me be serious. I'm kind of retarded. Was he trying to sell you a special creatine powder?
Yeah. So what is the main conspiracy behind it?
So the main conspiracy, it was a beginning stage of a false flag attempt. False flag attempts are when the government creates an enemy for us to all circle around to join together.
Like the Gulf of Tonkin.
Gulf of Tonkin, Resolution, 9/11. That was a big one. Think about it. All right, let me tell you something. Go back to 2002 and said, well, I don't think the Afghanis were to blame. They beat the fuck out of you in 2002. Okay? So it's a false flag attempt to boot and rally the population around one enemy. What that enemy is could be the government's decision.
Right. So if someone's telling me they wholeheartedly believe it was the Taliban or ISIS or whoever, then it kind of working, if that is the case.
Yes, but me and you recently spoke about the ISIS attack in Russia.
Right.
So that was something they claimed responsibility for. They have not claimed responsibility for this.
They wasted no time on that.
Yeah, so if you think about terrorist groups and how like even social media works in third world countries, it's the most important tool they have to declare statements like that. So if they did do it, there's no reason why they wouldn't say they wouldn't. Okay, this would have been a big act. They'd be like, we struck the heart of an empire. You know, we got Russia, we got America, and I think this is just a good old fashioned accident, honestly, because guys, this happens. The Exxon Valdez, same fucking thing. The guy fell asleep at the fucking wheel, didn't turn it fast enough, and it spilled a shit ton of oil. That was not a terrorist attack. That is human error, because regulation was soft, and regulation's soft right now on exporting goods, and that's the scary part of it. This can happen. This struck a major bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, named after the guy who wrote the fucking Star Spangled Banner.
If I remember correctly, there wasn't too many casualties, right? Like it wasn't.
From what I understand, there was 2. They've identified the 2, but this is another thing about infrastructure that's very important. Making sure everybody's up to snuff about what they're supposed to do at a job, and this is the problem. This is a human error factor, no different than when like a factory I work in. The factory I work in is 305 days without an accident, but
no casualties.
Yeah, so yeah, 2 bodies were recovered on the side of the collapse. One in a red pickup on Wednesday morning.
That's sad. So what happened? Did he fall asleep? Engine failure?
Technically, they're still under investigation, because you got to think about this: who investigates this crime, or is it a crime, or is this an accident? Right. Do the people of Baltimore discover? Do the authorities of Baltimore do it, or do an NTSB type maritime law come in time?
It almost feels like more U.S. government would be coming in to take a look at that.
Well, there's like different.
It's kind of like if the store manager fucks up, the regional manager comes in and it's just like, what's happened?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They call it Homeland Security, but like, we're kind of tied up at P. Diddy's house right now.
But this is why we have the different organizations. Like you have the NTSB, which is an engineering disaster firm. Do you have someone like the FBI come in if they believe there's criminality? Do you have someone like Homeland Security that's a safety risk of the containers that's there? And you have all these groups that have to work together. And this is, like I said, another human error. Who do we let in this situation take charge? And now you have to have, this bridge is done. This is a major bridge in Baltimore.
Yes, fuck.
So they're going to have to bring the Army Corps of Engineers to come in to remove the bridge, what's there, and rebuild and redesign the bridge. Now, I don't know too much about the bridge, other than I believe it had the ability to lift and close down, much like a trestle bridge. So whether or not that's going to be looked into, or whether or not the company that owns the container ship kind of goes into it, it's all up in the air. But the conspiracy of it is the most fascinating part of these stories, is because how fast can we make up a story? And because of things like TikTok and Instagram, even Facebook, we're able to see everyone's fucking opinion out the gate.
Everyone became structural engineers overnight.
Yeah, just like 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but from what we know...
Tugboats can't break bridges.
Yeah. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Tugboats can't destroy a bridge, even though this isn't a fucking tugboat.
This is the first word that came to my brain.
This is a goddamn giant city-like structure that just floated down the fucking river.
Fucking gargantuan.
Yeah, those things are fucking massive, because each of those...
Oh, yeah. That's a tractor trailer.
Yeah, the tractor trailer.
That's one
each of those Legos you see, that's a tractor trailer, motherfucker. But, Baltimore has to deal with this, and this is a big thing for Maryland that has to... This is a problem they're going to have to fix. And... That's not real. That guy's faking that shit.
Yeah, the sign interpreter.
Yeah, that shit's never real. Those guys are fake. I don't believe a fucking hand they're coming out.
It's like he's describing a really long dick.
Why does he look like that one comedian?
Jim Gaffigan?
Yeah. Why is he smiling?
Because he's happy he's got a job. Dude, these guys only exist for tragedy. There's the conspiracy. Hey, That's the conspiracy. That's the conspiracy. Deaf people cause natural disasters so they have interpreters have work.
Oh, hey, boink, boink, boink. Oh, yeah.
Sad. I'm working with fucking
all
children.
of you. That's a swim. That's a pray.
Pray God.
And my heart that just folds up together just like the windows. Like you pray again, just looking around.
I'm working with children, folks. Jesus.
Oh God!
Shit!
Always keeping an eye on the action at least.
That dude's got a 4-screen setup.
God.
That dude's got a 4-screen setup. Leave him alone.
I bet he loves his 2-screen setup.
This is not transitioning well for audio, but holy shit. Oh, Roberto Leon, professor of construction engineering.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem. Well, not even he could see that coming, and he was looking a lot.
If I was a teacher and you were my students, I would allow the school shooter in the room.
Yeah.
He was really casing the joint too. He had an eye on the place.
I'm going to need you to log off and go sit in the hallway. Oh, come on. Holy shit.
Hey, is that bridge right? I bought it.
Looks right to me.
Can we put that on the Instagram?
Sure.
Grab a screenshot.
I'll let y'all create the CCC Instagram, and that'll be y'all's job.
It's already there. I've been waiting for you to say you want Instagram, and I was going to give you the login.
Oh, god damn it. No, don't do that. Because it'll just be me doing fucking whole Instagram posts of like, did you hear what Bowen is doing?
That's literally printing the page.
What do you want from me, Alex?
A screenshot.
Just open snippet.
I don't know computers. That's good enough. I'll clip it. I'll edit it. It's fine. Save.
God, you're such an old man.
Open snippet and just snip it out.
Save as PDF. 2 bodies recovered from vehicle water. Princess Scotty Bridge collapse.
You're editing this episode.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh, man. It was my idea after all. Yeah, the white thing. The white thing was driving the boat, fell asleep after smoking too much meth.
Hugging Molly woke him up. You're on the fucking wrong side of the river, asshole! Oh yeah, it screeched. All those tires screeched on that bird. You're like the editor of the Fast and the Furious. It's with tire squeaches and everything. Hey, that tank moved really fast. It went like 35 miles an hour and squeaked a tire. There are no tires on the thing. Shut the fuck up, it's Fast and Furious. It's about family.
There's also been some conspiracy about the P. Diddy controversy.
No, let's get into that.
They said that who was it that raided the house? Was it Homeland Security?
It was Homeland Security.
So Twitter is saying that they weren't there to get Diddy. They were there to erase all the files before they could go public.
That
makes sense to me.
That's the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Most likely, Homeland Security is there because he either let's play the scenario out. He's committed a crime. If he's committed the crime and involved people that are not American on American soil, then mainly they had to go in there and fix it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you spit on it. He's describing a P. Diddy situation. He's not describing this motherfucker at all. P. Diddy was up in that neighborhood smoking that J in that dick. And let me tell you something, he laid it down, pipe and pipe. Yep. 2 dicks, same time, bro. You don't understand me? Big ball. Big ball.
Holy shit.
You're welcome. I can be childish too.
It's not being childish, it's called being funny.
This fucking guy.
This isn't this fucking guy episode. God damn it. Motherfucker goes to play T-ball one time, we just take over his fucking show.
What did he do? I don't even know anything about.
So
I think
the main story for right now is, without elaboration, is illegal sexual crimes or sexual assault.
Diddy did the diddle.
Yeah. But a lot of it could have been underage people, kind of like, the reason it's being brought up right now, mainly because Quiet on Set has come out on Netflix, which has kind of lifted the curtain for a lot of people about Nickelodeon.
HBO Max.
Max
for short. We all know what the fuck it is.
But when you have stories like this, they're usually paired with another story of another famous figure around the same time. A great example of this was the story of a British entertainer. When that story broke about him, the paired story was about the royal family and Jeffrey Epstein. So those stories happened at the same time, but the Epstein story kind of took over because it involved trafficking and the U.S. government. But this guy was also another famous figure in Britain. I forget his name. They did a whole special on him on Netflix. It was just wild as fuck. He had a show called Jimmy Savile. The story of Jimmy Savile. He had a show called Jim Would Fix It, and he would target kids who were in special needs.
Jimmy Firecracker here.
Yeah. So with that, they kind of pair together. So with the Quiet Ones coming out, the Diddy story coming out, but it's also another thing of, people have been noticing about this stuff for a long time. You know, it's kind of like we talked about Kevin Spacey. You know, Kevin Spacey. It was rumored that he did all this, and turned out it hadn't been true. And it's more of people like, he was so big that you need a bunch of people to let them, open the doors on it. Because if we know anything from the Quiet Ones, we have someone like Amanda Bynes whose life is ruined, even though she's been screaming about this shit forever. And her family has shunned her out, has destroyed her life.
Well, her dad was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
So.
But it's also, this is what we have, this is who we have that has been left out in the dark. But we have some people like, what's his name, Peck?
Josh Peck?
Drake Bell.
Drake Bell. And we have a couple people from All That, and a couple people from other live action shows that came from Nickelodeon. And then we had some people from Disney before that. Gina McCurdy?
Jeanette McCurdy.
Jeanette McCurdy had talked about her mom and some of the stuff she had to deal with.
She was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, so you have these people who have these major fucking problems, and then this on the rap scene kind of pairs with it. So now, if they could say what they could say about someone like Dan Snyder, a big producer, then we could say all this if we get enough people together to bring down this guy, Diddy or P. Diddy or whatever.
Puff Daddy.
Still
Puff Daddy.
The murderer of Biggie, whatever you want to call him. Just saying. He may have killed Biggie.
Suge Knight.
No, Suge Knight had Tupac killed. A whole different game. Just saying, that's the conspiracy. You want to make? We could do another.
I was about to say, have you guys done a Suge Knight episode?
No.
We gotta have Cap on for that one.
Yeah, I want to have Cap on for that one, but it's also going to be a Biggie Tupac episode. The East Coast versus West Coast. Because there's a funny story about Tupac shooting himself in the leg in an elevator in New York. It's fucking hilarious. Then he blamed it on Biggie. So he shot himself.
We'll send a fucking meme to the last podcast on the left. Just get shit on. Get shit on.
They actually did a Biggie Tupac episode not long ago.
Yeah.
But
that's why we're going to shit all over it. You want the facts?
Don't ask me.
Oh.
I make people cry and smoke cigarettes at work.
Man, it was so good too. God almighty.
Smoking's cool, right?
Yeah, smoking's great.
Yeah. Bring it back. Stop this electric fucking tobacco bullshit. Go back to acoustic.
Well, not the podcast to talk about it.
Fuck it, do it. I don't care. You're this fucking guy.
Yeah.
A guest on Triple C.
Alex, you smoked before. Just that morning after a show, you wake up, you got a cigarette and some coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Chris, cigarette and coffee? Yes or no?
I'm not a coffee person. I'm not a cigarette person either.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, he's never smoked a cigarette.
Not a coffee person.
I'm more of a couple or three of some muscle relaxers and an energy drink.
Perk 30s?
Not a Percocet fan. More of hydrocodone, Roxy 80 fan. I'm a big guy.
Rocks!
I was prescribed Roxy 80s at a younger age. And so, I would need those to function to the point where I was like, I should stop taking these. These are bad. Like, we'll take 3 a day. This is the only way I'm staying awake, so I don't have to feel my body murder me. But that's just me. I don't need a cigarette and coffee. I take real drugs made by pharmaceutical companies, not soda manufacturers and tobacco companies. The real killers, pharma. Not those pussy tobacco salesmen.
There's an episode.
All big pharma. Yeah. Do you want the tickets I got from them for the hot air balloon ride? Because you're going.
Hey.
You're going now.
North Carolina's got a hot air balloon festival coming up.
It's beside my house.
No shit.
Yeah. Nardo County has a balloon festival.
You told me about that,
Yeah, so you guys are welcome to come to my house and watch those balloons every once in a while. I'll say this. One will go down near my house. It's funny as fuck to watch because one almost hit a single wide trailer one time and it landed in the yard and it deflated in the backyard. But the backyard was massive, so it's fine.
Proof that God hates poor people.
It's raining rich people from the sky. It's raining aeronauts. Just these fucking rich assholes with this giant fabric fucking flying machine. Oh, who is it? That's Mortimer and Menelaus. They fell from the sky.
Menelaus.
Yeah, it's always some rich motherfucker with an old white name.
Maximilian
Mortimer Jones or some shit. Menelaus Pappy or some shit.
Pappy.
Did me tell you something? Hick names mixed with rich names. Those are hilarious.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like, you know, when you see a white guy named Jerome, right. Man, that's an old Southern name. Jerome is a Southern name.
His name was Jerome, but we called him the Alabama Black Thang.
That's racist, Timmy.
All right.
Sheriff, I think that's racist. I think you're unemployed. Give me your goddamn badge and gun, boy. Motherfucker went to community college, got all woke and shit.
Is that it?
I guess, man. All right, thanks. All right, we'll let it burn there. Fuck it. We got an hour in. It was a fun episode. It's not serious. I'm sorry if I get serious sometimes.
This fucking.
This fucking. Sweet.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, brother. Thanks, guys, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for reaching out in the Discord lately. I'm actually trying to respond because Alex is telling me to. Any recommendations you guys need, just let me know. I'll be happy to give them to you. Thanks for this fucking guy, Mikey Black. Check out their show and how their in-depth coverage of things like Hamas and Israel.
Whoa. Okay.
Check out that episode.
That was one time. It's one time.
That's what the Israelis said. And thank you, Alex. For joining from Something Good For You, and
of course,
our front editor of the SGN Network.
Yes.
Our president of the SGN Network. We are working on some back-end stuff. Hoping you guys will. Some video content. Please check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Our podcasts are now being put on YouTube. All of them backlogged.
That is correct.
I'll check those out.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
I put it in the group chat.
He doesn't pay attention.
I don't.
Only when we make fun of
this. You know what the fuck I'm about.
I've been fighting it for 10 years. I thought at some point maybe you would come around.
Check out all our other episodes too of History We Forgot. We also have a merch store. We would like to get some product out. Please check it out.
Link is in the episode description.
That is right.
That's right.
Check
I will
that
be
out.
sure to put it there just for you guys.
Yep. And also,
what do you mean you?
Yeah, like he's not part of it. It's fucking. I'm sorry. I'm the main buyer, so it's fine. But also check out History We Forgot with me and Chrissy Phillips. We got a new episode coming out very soon. We had to take a hiatus just because. Yeah, if you guys have any other conspiracy ideas, please let us know in the Discord or message me directly. I don't give a shit. I'll talk about anything with anyone. I don't care. Thanks, guys, for listening, and I'll see you on the next go-round.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.